Hi, Joanne, thank you. Thank you for introducing me. And it's great to see some amazing people from all around the world on the meeting.
Então, la tuzo aska tu English ke duksila wa.
Remember to
Acha
go.
ya magana vida. Anan.
Can I just do a little bit of housekeeping and remind people to be on mute unless you are talking or when you have a question. And also, I just want people to use the reactions button down the bottom when I ask a question to put your hand up. If you know where that is, if you just go to where it says reactions and they'll say says something that says raise hands, and then when I ask you a question, you want to, I'll point you in the direction for that shortly. The other thing is that during the presentation, if you have any questions, either write them down in the chat box or hold on to them and ask us at the end, and we will be able to come back and answer those. So the first thing I want to do is, can I have a show of hands in the room here? Anybody in the room that is a past international board director? So if you go to reactions and go raise hand and lower your hand, or if you just wave it so we can all see, because there are a number of you. So we've got some past Inner Wheel New Zealand members here who are past board directors. So it's wonderful to see you. So I know we've got Lynn and Joanne herself, and we've got Annabelle there, and we have Marion. Who have I missed? Christina, I saw you there somewhere. So you know what it's like to be a board director. There you are, Christina. And since these ladies have been board directors, we've had COVID and things have changed and the world has opened up. So if everyone lowers their hand now, can I have anyone that is a current Inner Wheel board director raise your hand? Okay, can you see them all there? For those that are here, if you go to reactions and raise your hand, you'll all come to the very top. So thank you, ladies, because these are my friends from all around the world, and how times have changed that we're all able to be in the room together sharing this time. So Joanne asked me a little while ago if I would present to you this month, because as she said, it's United Nations month. I'm not talking about the United Nations, but we are uniting the nations here. So it's a great pleasure to be here and to share an insight into the world of being an Inner Wheel board director. And here to help me are some of my friends, and you're going to get to meet them and talk to them later. But first, I'm going to give you a little presentation. We all know that the objects of Inner Wheel are to promote true friendship, to encourage the ideals of personal service, and to foster international understanding. So as an Inner Wheel member, I was really lucky to have had 3 years previously as an international editor and media manager. But this year, in my experience as an international board director, I can honestly say that I have experienced true Inner Wheel friendship. I've witnessed exceptional personal service, and I'm living with international connections. So tonight I'm going to address 2 questions. One is 2 questions that I get asked quite often by other members. Who are the International Inner Wheel Governing Body, otherwise referred to as IGB? And what do I do? What does an International Inner Wheel Board Director do? So to help me do this, some of my friends are going to have an opportunity to share some of their ideas shortly too. But remember, as I said earlier, as the meeting progresses, progresses, if you have any questions, please type them in the chat box or wait to the end, and one of us will be able to answer them for you. So who is the international governing body? There we are. We have in the front row, in the green jumper onwards, we have our International Treasurer, Sarita, our Vice President, Mamta, our current President, Trish, our past President, Zeni, and our Constitution Chairman, Cecil. Standing behind are the 16 board directors from all around the world. And in the lovely yellow sari on the side, we have our international editor and media manager, Prabha. So the 5 in the international executive, making up the team of Sarita, Mamta, Trish, Zeni, and Cecil, have the 16 board directors that work with them to form the international governing body. The board directors and the executive are all elected inner wheel members who operate as part of the international governing body, so that we're there to oversee the governance of the organization, to ensure the future successes of the organization, to ensure all inner wheel members are treated fairly and respectfully, and to ensure that all members and clubs are operating within the International Inner Wheel Constitution. So in order to do this, part of what we do is we have online meetings where we get together, and this was our very first one in July. So we have online meetings where we talk about lots of things. And then we have the opportunity to meet, to share with WhatsApp. We share a very active couple of WhatsApp groups where we're constantly communicating with each other. And you can just imagine having these Zoom meetings where you've got members from lots of different time zones. So sometimes I'm the one that's at 6 o'clock in the morning. Today, we've got Anne, who's there at 6 o'clock in the morning. The other night, it was 11 o'clock at night for me. It's been 4 o'clock in the morning for Jill in the US. So finding times and meeting times, we're all having to operate and learn to operate at different time zones. So it's all very well having these WhatsApp groups and these online meetings, but there's nothing quite like being able to be in a room together and have a face-to-face meeting. So in October, we all managed to get in the room together and have a face-to-face meeting in Altrincham near Manchester, in the town hall there. So there we all are in the meeting. Our time at the face-to-face meeting was spent in a lot of discussion and a lot of friendship. We discussed constitutional matters. We discussed issues that have arisen within the organisation and about the organisation. And we had a chance to share and talk about ideas openly for ways to look at how to move International Inner Wheel forward into the future. As a result of this, some of us were put into specialist working groups, and all of us have been placed into small working groups with tasks to work on in the build up to the next online board meeting. And we get to meet again face to face just before the convention in Manchester in May. So here we are working away in our room, but yet we have a lot of fun while we're together as well. This is my working group. They're all here tonight. So we've got Marley, Sejana, myself, and Paulette. So that was just some of us working time together in Manchester. What we also do is that each board director is assigned a number of clubs to connect with, and these clubs are called non-districted clubs. They're from all around the world, and there's about 75 of them. They are operating without a national governing body, and in many cases without even being part of a district. The board director's task is to be the primary source of communication, to share news and information from International Inner Wheel, but also for it to act as a two-way conversation, to gain from them insights and be their contact person. So it's been really exciting to see and hear how some of the board directors have made amazing contact with their clubs around the world, yet some of us really struggle. There are clubs out there that are doing some incredible service projects. Some of them are living and being very enthusiastic in what they do. They are really sharing friendship and their love for Inner Wheel. And it was great a few weeks ago when we held an online meeting with 35 different clubs. There were 25 countries all together in one room. And it meant that the meeting for me was 11 o'clock at night and it finished at 1 o'clock in the morning. So, talking about time zones, it's time to meet my friends. I need to escape from that. So, the board directors are all based around the world, and though many of them are meeting this morning with their cups of coffee from Europe, I'm going to introduce you all individually, and then you're going to have a few minutes, 1 or 2 minutes each, to share a few things. So ladies, you might hear from them about sharing what their country or their non-districted clubs are doing, either what they're normally doing or what they're going to do to celebrate this centenary year, some of the exciting projects that some of the clubs are doing. They may also share with you some of the highlights that they've had as board directors or things they're looking forward to. And I've asked them to think about sharing with you what excites them about being an Inner Wheel member. But before I introduce them, I want you to remember what my very first slide was. My second slide was that at the beginning, on the 3rd of October, we met face to face for the first time. Yes, we'd talked to each other on an online meeting or two, but being able to give someone a hug or to greet someone and talk to them face to face can never be underestimated. We all arrived in Manchester as friends that were linked by Inner Wheel, yet instantly we bonded with friendship, and we walked into that room and the light was shining on friendship, and it shone for the whole few days that we were there, and it hasn't dimmed. We are still in constant contact, some of us. We communicate, we share ideas, and I can honestly say that it has been one of the most incredible and most memorable experiences of my life. So I mentioned my working group. And we had an online meeting a couple of weeks ago, and I told them about my invitation to tonight. Then I put it on the WhatsApp group as a question. I know it's going to be really early in the morning for you, but would you be interested in joining me for a presentation? Thinking that I'd get 1 or 2 that would say yes. But without hesitation, I've had the most incredible response. And so that's not, then those ones that aren't here for a very good reason, because they just can't possibly be here. It is either Thanksgiving Day in the US. So Jill can't be here, but she's put in her apologies, or others are traveling or have other engagements. So I'm going to start by introducing each of you individually. So, and I know that whenever we do this online, girls, we're always doing it in alphabetical order. So I'm not going to go in alphabetical order today. I'm going to go by when I see you on the screen. So I'm actually going to start with my friend Kamal. I'm going to spotlight you. Kamal, you need to unmute yourself. Kamal is from Nepal. So
Yes, I'm from Nepal.
her story.
Hello, good morning and good evening to everyone. Nice to see you all again.
Kamal, are you able to tell us something that you have found out from either what your country is doing for the centenary year or what your non-district clubs are doing?
Okay. Hi there. Are you hearing me?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm Kamal.
I need help
from
with
the land of mountains and a country rich in culture, Nepal. To celebrate the centenary year of Innerville, we are going back to the roots of Innerville objectives and working on serving the community. As the effects of global warming is profound and we have seen its impact in Nepal as well. Our focus for the year is to raise awareness and establish a greener and more sustainable environment. As a board director, I have been able to communicate and make new friends with members in Innerville Club of Kampala Central, which is non-restricted club from Africa. I'm excited to hear about their projects that involves providing aid and support to women and children in the jail. Additionally, I'm looking forward to meeting them in person in the International Innerville Convention next year, as 8 members of the club have registered for the convention. That's very exciting. And thank you, Michelle, for giving me this opportunity to share my experiences with New Zealand friends. Thank you.
Thank you, Kamal. Now, Kamal quite often gets to Melbourne, is that correct?
Yes.
If you have
we have joined, yes.
So she has a son that lives in Melbourne. So sometimes she gets to Melbourne. So maybe one day she might make it to New Zealand and we can show her around.
I hope so. Sure. We'll meet in New Zealand also.
Thank you, Kamal.
Welcome.
I'm now going to introduce you to, we're going to jump all the way over to Sweden. So we have Ingelog. I'm going to spotlight you now. You'll need to unmute yourself, Ingelog. Can you find the unmute at the bottom of the screen?
Now, did it work?
Yes. Yes, we can hear you.
You can hear me. Okay, thank you. Hello, everybody. Good morning, good evening, maybe good afternoon for some of you. I come from Helsingborg in the very south of Sweden, where it is rainy, very dark at the moment, but it will be better during the day. I have 4 clubs that I am in contact with, 2 in Serbia and 2 in Herzegovina, Bosnia-Herzegovina. The connection with them has worked very well. And some of the projects that they are working with, I can just mention a few, are very, very interesting. One of them is working with a project called Gold September to help children suffering from cancer. And another of the clubs has worked with a joint action called Pink October, also breast cancer project. And all of the members in that club, they took a breast examination to make other women do the same thing. So that's some of the projects that I have learned about. Things to highlight from my experience as a board director. I agree with Michelle and Kamal. It has been fantastic to meet each other in October. We worked extremely well together. And that for me was fantastic to see that women from all over the world, when we meet, we could work together on on issues that are important for international inner wheel. So what excites me, as you asked, Michelle, to be an inner wheel member, that is the friendship, that is the service we do, and the international understanding, and that it's so easy to connect and get to know each other and help out. And I'm looking forward to seeing you all in May for the centenary. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yes, I think there's quite a few people on this call today that are looking forward to meeting in May, both Inner Wheel New Zealand members and the other board directors. So it's going to be a very exciting year. So we're going to just skip not too far from Sweden. We're going to take our little tour around the world, and we're going to end up in Denmark, Kirsten. So I will spotlight you if you can take yourself off mute.
Hello.
Hello.
Good morning. Good evening to all of you. I'm from Denmark, District 45. We have 5 districts in Denmark, and 80, how much is it? 85 clubs, and about 2,000 members, a little more. Of course, we, like many other countries, have declined. At the top, we had 140 clubs and over 4,000 members. But I know it's not only us. As a board director for the 2nd year, I have one club that I'm connected very well with. It's a new formed club in Monterrey, Mexico. And there I have very often Zoom meetings with them. They are a new club, so it is to tell them about our organization, that the organization of Inner Wheel is more than your own club. And this new club, the new president there, she has only been an Inner Wheel member for 1 year. And then she's planning a trip, a holiday trip to Barcelona. And we talked about this, that when you are Inner Wheel, you can connect all over the world. So there was a connection. So she met up with several members from Inner Wheel in Barcelona. And they spent the whole day together. And she said afterwards, "Oh, it's fantastic. It's like I have known these people for years." So that is what Inner Wheel can bring you. It is friendship all around the world. Thank you.
Thank you, Kirsten. That's wonderful, because that's led me onto the next couple of people that I see. I've got 3 people coming up next. I have Anne, Dorothy, and Marlies. Now, the 3 of them, what happened with me is that this idea, Kirsten, of the international connections. I put out at the board meeting online that I was coming over to Europe early because that's a long way to go for a board meeting. And then I connected with Dorothy to say, where in Germany do you live? Because I'm coming to Germany on holiday. It turns out that Dorothy lived 45 minutes away from where Ariel was living. And I was going to Germany to stay with Ariel. So we managed to connect, and we had a couple of days together. Dorothy picked us up. We stayed at her home. She took us to a beautiful place called Aachen to visit. And so I'm going to ask Dorothy now if she can share her little bit. I'll spotlight you.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
So good evening and good morning to everyone. I'm very happy to be part of this big organization, to see you all in this evening, in this morning. As Michelle already said, I'm from Germany, from the deep, deep west, near Düsseldorf. And Inner Wheel in Germany has 8,500 members in 7 districts, but at the moment we don't have a national governing body. So you can imagine that's very difficult to have a German project for the centenary, and we are very proud that we have one. We could manage it to put the 7 districts together, and we have a 3 years project for the centenary of Inner Wheel, and we support children and young people who are neglected or traumatized, and we have now 15 lighthouse projects all over Germany, and we give donations to selected children homes, and so we can support them, and it's a lot of work and a lot of fun, because it's very good to see how we can help and support these children and these young people, and to see the big work and the wonderful work the persons in the child's homes do. And I'm responsible for 4 clubs in Lithuania, and I think Dot, who had the clubs last year, is also here, I hope. And it's not so easy to get in contact, but now I managed to have contact to at least 1 club. And since 2 days, I was asked to be also responsible for a district in West Africa, Congo and Cameroon is belonging to it, and I'm very excited what will expect me, and what for me is the most important is in Inner Wheel, about Inner Wheel, is the international understanding. And because we see at the moment with wars and crisis, we as women, I think we have the power to bring a little bit of peace and understanding in the world. And I think that's the most important. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Dorothy. And then moving on, the next person, I'm coming back to the third one. The next one is Marlies. Now, Marlies contacted me to say, Michelle, you're traveling in England before going to the meeting. Where are you going to be? So I said to her, well, I plan to be staying with Anne in York the weekend before and traveling to, a few days before and traveling over to Manchester. But the weekend before, I'm going to be in Cambridge. So the next thing I know, I'm meeting Marlies in Cambridge, and we'd seen each other on I hope you don't mind sharing the story. We've seen each other on Zoom meetings. Now on Zoom meetings, ladies, we all look the same size. She said to me, because you won't miss me, I'm the tall one. So yeah, I didn't miss Marlies. She was very much the tall one. She's much taller than even I am. And those of you in New Zealand know that I'm reasonably tall. So Marlies, we'll let you take the floor and share your stories.
Thank you. Now, great to be here. And yes, you will think I'm a tall one. And I have to admit, in my family, when I was young, I was always the shortest one. I'm the shortest one compared to my brothers. I was always the little sister. So it's just to what group you compare it to, I suppose. My name is Marlies, and I'm from the Netherlands. Club Inner Wheel Tilburg-Triborg. It's in the southern part of the Netherlands, close to the Belgian border. We have 3 districts in the Netherlands and just under 2,000 members at the moment, and 63 clubs. This year, it's a special year. Of course, we're celebrating 100 years of Inner Wheel, but also in the Netherlands, we're celebrating 75 years of Inner Wheel, the Netherlands, of our national governing body. So it's a double special celebration in our country. Making the link to the United Nations as sort of your theme of this month, as I just understood. In the Netherlands during COVID, we organized a Zoom conference with the United Nations lady, Sea. She is in Vienna, but originally she is Dutch, so we could do it in Dutch. And we held a presentation about the link between Inner Wheel and United Nations, because most members know something about it, but not really much. It was really fascinating, and it made us realize, as the national board, we're always talking about hands-on projects, gathering money, friendship, but we can also use our awareness, use our connections worldwide to put emphasis, to bring awareness to a specific subject. That's why we started within the Netherlands with sort of a committee for women to give more attention to all those United Nations days. And first of all, we're focusing on Orange the World, the period that starts this Saturday, a period that asks attention for violence against women. It's a worldwide theme of the United Nations, and it's called Orange the World, not because the Netherlands are involved, but orange is the color of the sunrise in the morning and a sign of hope. In the Netherlands, the United Nations Women Group, the Netherlands, is involved. They started it up together with the Soroptimists and the Zonta's, and Inner Wheel is officially involved in it as well within the Netherlands. So we have the great kickoff this Saturday, and it's really something that brings us together across other service clubs. It brings a lot of clubs new ideas, because locally they're working together with other service clubs. In the end, we all want to make the world a little better. About my non-districted clubs, I'm linked to clubs in Uganda. Last year, I had 3 clubs in Uganda, this year again. But Uganda is really growing. Kamal, she mentioned one club that's in Uganda as well, where she's working with. And number 6, I think, is now starting. So we're looking forward to trying to start even a district over there. So that will be really great that they can do more together in a sort of formalized way. The project that made a lot of impression on me is the work they're doing for teaching girls how to make their own sanitary towels. So by doing that, they can continue going to school. Otherwise, they would skip school at least 1 week a month. And it really gives them a lot more future and impact. Personally, for me, Inner Wheel, I think a lot of beautiful things have been mentioned, and I'll recognize all of them. But when you start Inner Wheel, you think your club is Inner Wheel, and that's the way they do it everywhere. The first time I visited another club, I thought, that's interesting. They do it completely different. And that sort of opened my Inner Wheel world. And then I had the same reaction when the first time I visited a different district. And now when I got the opportunity to meet other countries, you realize we're all doing the same thing in different ways. And that's great, because the way we do it should fit with the people that and the group that's doing it. But I always find it so interesting to learn from each other. If someone tells about a project or something they did, there's always something in it. I think, oh, that's interesting. My country or some other club could use that as well. We can learn so much from each other, but also personally, I learn a lot from all those different cultures around the world. Yeah, and I felt I've grown a lot by that. I love it. It's really nice to meet people around the world and feel like we're all the same wherever we live, and we just all want to make the world a little better and more beautiful. I really hope to meet lots of you at the convention in Manchester. Thank you.
Thank you, Marlies. Now, as you can hear, we're halfway through the ladies. I hope you don't mind hanging on a little while longer, people. We will. I've been trying to keep it to the 1 or 2 minutes. My next person I'm going to introduce is Anne. Anne is from Great Britain and Ireland. She lives in York, and I had met Anne online, and I think I'd seen you and at conventions in the past. And so I reached out to Anne to say, can I come to York and we'll get the train together to Manchester? So we did. We had a lovely couple of days in York. Now I'll put you on spotlight, Anne, and it's your turn.
Thank you very much. Yes, I'm Anne Acaster. I'm a member of the Inner Wheel Club of York Vikings in District 4 GB&I, and I'm delighted to be with you all today. I have 5 non-districted clubs, 2 in Spain, 1 in Latvia, and 2 in the USA. And it's a bit hit and miss with some of them, but those that I'm in contact with, it warms the heart. As you can imagine, in Great Britain and Ireland, we're rather involved with convention this year, as we're hosting it in Manchester, where Inner Wheel was born, and also where I was born. We have a wonderful local convention committee, and they're all working really hard to make a wonderful time for you all. So we look forward to seeing you all in Manchester to celebrate 100 years of Inner Wheel service and friendship. Projects and things, like some other countries, we have a new Inner Wheel rose for sale at the moment in GB&I, born, planted and grown specifically for the centenary and aptly called the Margaretta Golding. I've been invited to a very special service and lunch in Manchester on World Inner Wheel Day with the Inner Wheel Club of Manchester, the very first club. So it'll be a very, very special event. And we're then holding another special lunch with all members from GB&I invited in London in April, 1920s costume, if so desired. Our main act of service for the centenary is called 100 for 100. And the clubs have many interpretations for this. Some have knitted 100 bees for convention, bees being the symbol of hardworking Manchester back in the Industrial Revolution. 100 knitted poppies for Remembrance Sunday, planting 100 bulbs and flowers to bloom in the centenary year, making 100 Christmas cakes to be sold with proceeds to Inner Wheel charities and local charities, and 100 operating gowns for children's hospital wards, and many, many other ideas. These are just a few. Now, another point, Michelle, how can we possibly sum up quickly the highlights of being a board director? Impossible, but here we go. First and foremost, as has been mentioned, are the friendships. Meeting many friends. Some I already knew through previous conventions, through Facebook, through projects where we've met up together, but also making new friends, and all working for the furtherment and improvement of Inner Wheel. And it was lovely, as has been mentioned, to have Michelle and Molly stay in our home and have 2 crazy days in York. We had great fun before we came down. And as for Inner Wheel, what do I like about Inner Wheel? Again, impossible to sum up really quickly. I just love my Inner Wheel. My Inner Wheel is here. I love my Inner Wheel. But for me, the best aspect is that in good times and in bad, Inner Wheel becomes a blanket of friendship, service, support and comfort for those who need it the most, and also just in times of friendship as well. So best wishes to you all for a wonderful year in our centenary year, and I hope to be able to meet up with many of you yet again in Manchester. Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you so much. Anne, do you remember this?
I certainly do. York Gym, yes. Sadly, mine is all gone.
I think I led you astray.
Yes, you did. I have to just tell you, you people that are there, I'm going to tell a tale on Michelle and Molly's. We went into the York gin shop. We were offered a tasting. There were 6 gins to taste, and they tasted them all.
So we're going to thank you. We're going to hop across the English Channel now to France, and here we have Marie-Françoise. Marie-Françoise, it's your turn. Thank you.
Yes. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Marie-Françoise Pignard. I live in the south of France. I am from Inner Wheel Digne-les-Bains, a little town, district 153. I am board director this year, and I was also board director last year. Digne-les-Bains is part of Innerwil FAMAT. FAMAT means France, Andorra, Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia. We have not really a special project for the Centenary Convention. Since many years, we help at our national level French Handisport Federation, which is a sport for disabled people. For the convention, we will have a special badge, very beautiful, like a jewel, with a Eiffel Tower, and also a special scarf. And if you want, you will can buy them at the convention. As board director, I'm responsible for 4 non-district clubs in Lebanon. As you may know, this country has been going through a serious economic crisis for many years. However, Innerwil members are very active. They do various social projects, such as being fuel for generators in retirement homes and hospitals. They have also very strong links between their clubs. They organize friendly meetings. Yes, is all I can say. I enjoy Innerwil because of friendship, service, and international understanding our goals. I particularly love friendship and understanding international. And I look forward to meeting you at the Centenary Convention in May in Manchester.
Thank you so much, Merci. We'll see you very soon. Not far from France, we're going to head a little bit north to Belgium. And there we have Paulette. Paulette, here you go. Paulette's in my team, my working team too.
Yes. Okay, good evening or good morning, everybody. My name is Paulette de Winter. I'm from Innerwil, Belgium, Luxembourg. We have 3 districts, 75 clubs. We have a national governing body, and totally we have 1,875 members. And I am member of the club of Deinze. We have 32 very active members in our club. Deinze is situated in the Flemish part of Belgium. Because Belgium is a little bit complicated, what about the languages? In the northern part, we speak Flemish. In the southern part, we speak French. And then at the east side, we have a German community. And of course, we also have the small country Luxembourg. So that means 4 languages in one country. The clubs assigned to me as a board director are 1 club of Martinique, Le Lamentin, and then 2 clubs of Cayenne, Georgetown and Georgetown Center. I must say Georgetown and Georgetown Central, very hard to have connections. I sent everything, I ask for answers, but maybe it looks very difficult. But the club of Le Lamentin in Martinique is doing very well, is working very well. They have a lot of projects. For instance, I have seen that tomorrow night they have their gala, their annual gala evening. And at the same time, they also celebrate their 10 years of Inner Wheel Club. So their anniversary of 10 years. What they are doing, so they this gala is also they work for endometriosis. This is very important for them. Then they also help the elder people by sending them for Christmas a wellness basket and some brand new clothes. They also help the young people. What do they have? They upgrade self-esteem for young people and vocational high school in order to learn them how to learn better and so. Then they also help children's hospital. So they do a lot of things. They are really Inner Wheel members in the heart. They have Inner Wheel in their heart. Our country, to celebrate the 100 years of Inner Wheel, on national level, we are not doing anything special. But we have one district, 163, who creates also a new rose. I think there will be a lot of new roses for the centenary year of Inner Wheel. The districts are also responding to Praba's request for articles and photos for the centenary book. It's not only the question of Praba, but also from our group, from Marlies, and Marlies, isn't it? And you sent, and Doro, I think, is also in that group. Yes, so they are working on it. And then the clubs are all organizing parties with the theme of 100 years of Inner Wheel. My highlight as a board director, many of you told it already, it was very great to meet each other in person in Altrincham for the governing body meeting. We could exchange ideas from how Inner Wheel is functioning in our country, because there are so many ways of working for Inner Wheel. We all doing it different, but it's at the end, it's all for the same purpose that we are working. So, and being here with all of you is also a highlight for me, because that corresponds of the international understanding that Inner Wheel is standing for. So, and like all of you, I hope to meet and a lot of people, a lot of you in Manchester for our convention, and to celebrate together 100 years of Inner Wheel. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Paulette. It's really some really interesting things there, especially about our connections with our non-districted clubs. Some are very successful, some are not so. We're going to skip across to where I think it's probably warm in Turkey with Iqlal. Iqlal also is involved with the International Choir, and I know that there's a couple of us here that have signed up to be in that. So ladies, I'm just aware of the time too, so we are going to just have to go as quickly as possible.
Okay.
You are. Turn, Iqlal.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of you. It's great to see you, my fellow board directors and my friends from New Zealand. I have been to New Zealand in 2014, and I enjoyed every minute of it. It's great being with you. I'm İclal Kardaçalı from İzmir, Turkey.
Izmir is on the very westernmost part of Turkey, on the Aegean Sea. I'm a member of Ege Inner Wheel Club, District 244. In Turkey, we have two districts, 242 and 244. One is the Greater Istanbul area, and the other one is the Greater Izmir and Aegean area. We are not that many. We're only 450 members in Inner Wheel, but very hardworking ladies, especially on site. We have lots of projects with schools and old people's homes and children and hospitals and things like that. For the centennial, of course, this year in Turkey, we're doing two things. First of all, in my district, in Izmir, we have started a rose garden, like many of you, but this is not, we're not going to sell them, of course, but we have a park in the middle of the city, and there we have reserved for Inner Wheel some space to start a rose garden. And secondly, we have started an Inner Wheel centennial forest. This is in Soma, about 30 kilometers from where I live, from Izmir. And we have started by planting 2,000 saplings already. And it is going to grow until the 1st of July this year. So this is for the centennial year. It's going to be the centennial forest for Inner Wheel, from Inner Wheel, Turkey. I am working, some clubs were allotted to me, of course, non-districted clubs. I am working with 4 clubs. From 2, I have excellent news. The one in Zambia, I am working with a club in Zambia. They are coming to the convention. And also, they are going to participate in the House of Culture. And I am very happy and proud with that. They have their own projects with some orphanages, and they are working at the hospital, also helping the nurses and medical staff there. But the idea that they're going to join us at the convention is really wonderful and great. Also, I am working with a club in the Caribbean area, West Indies, French West Indies. They have started thinking about forming a district with some other clubs. And I think in their district, there will be at least 7 or 8 clubs from the Caribbean and the West Indies area. And this is wonderful news. And I'm very happy to hear about that news also. Michelle asked us to share what excites us about being an Inner Wheel member. Well, like everyone else has emphasized, it is the friendship. I've met some of my best friends through Inner Wheel in Izmir, first of all, and in Istanbul afterwards. But also, of course, our friendship goes beyond borders. And it is the friendship and understanding that we carry in all of us in our hearts. And for example, some of you mentioned it, when I went to Manchester for the meeting of the international governing body, I met my fellow board directors, some of whom are here, and it was a feeling that as if I had known you all my life. And this is very special. Thank you for that. And I am very proud to be and happy to be an Inner Wheel member with my friends. One last thing, of course, I am going to the convention, and I'm looking very much forward to the convention for another reason. I am a musician. I am a conductor, orchestra conductor, and I am preparing with the organization committee and with the participation of my friends, an international choir. who's going to perform at the opening ceremony. And we've had lots of volunteers for this choir. I don't know if aside from the board member friends, I don't know if any of you from New Zealand have signed up for it in this club.
Yes.
Here.
We have a couple here. I know Claire is here. She's signed up, and there's another one, Judy, but I don't think she's here.
Okay. And this is going to be exciting because we're going to be doing an international repertory, first of all, representing the 6 continents where our Inner Wheel friends live. And there will be also dances. I have prepared the rehearsal videos for the 2 dances already, and I'm working for the accompaniment, working on the accompaniment music, and we will start the rehearsals online with the chorus. There are 50 members on the chorus, and I'm looking very much forward to that activity, something that we can do together until the centennial convention, of course, and enjoy ourselves and have fun and develop our friendship one more time. Inner Wheel is an international organization, and it's something that connects us, but music also connects us internationally. So I'm very much looking forward to that activity and very much looking forward to seeing you all at the convention. Thank you, Michelle, for inviting me to this lovely meeting. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Iqlal. Now, one of the little worries that I've had a few people share with me about the choir, Iqlal, is we wonder whether or not there are going to be rehearsals done in different time zones, because I can't imagine some of us being 2 o'clock in the morning and singing online while the rest of the household are trying to sleep.
Yes.
So it's going to be interesting to see how the rehearsals are run.
Yes. We have some technical problems, Michelle, with the connection. Once we solve them, I'm going to make a poll. I'm going to offer a poll to all of our members in the chorus. The dancers will rehearse in a different way, but through that poll, I'm going to ask them which day is a suitable day for most of them, of course, and what time zone, more or less. We don't have any singers from the United States, so that makes our job a little bit easier, because we're going to turn our attention to continental Europe and Asia and Australia and New Zealand, of course. So I'm working on that.
Thank you. Thank you. You're not too far away from, sort of geographically, from Turkey. We're going to visit Jumana in a moment, and Jumana is in Jordan. So it's lovely to see you here, and we look forward to hearing from you, Jumana. You need to unmute yourself, and then we share your...
Good morning, ladies. Can you hear me?
We can, thank you.
Thank you, Michelle, for inviting us. I'm Jumana Masri. I come from Jordan. Jordan and Egypt, they are in District 95. And we have 3 clubs only in Jordan and around 30 clubs in Egypt. So we always, share our projects together. We travel to each country. And in fact, we are attending the Inner Wheel Day on the 10th of January in Egypt, because it will be something special for the centennial year. Yesterday, we had a meeting with the club's president, and they're all very excited to come to the convention. I have 4 clubs in Lebanon allocated to me. They are non-districted clubs, but unfortunately, there is a war zone in Jordan and in Lebanon, because we are on the borders of the crisis. But they told me that they are planning to do something for Christmas, and we are doing something here as well, as we usually do. Well, our projects mainly, it's about cancer patients. We do workshops, for awareness for the environment, and workshops also for the Inner Wheel ladies, especially the new ones. who has no idea about the history of inner wheel and the regulation and the constitution. All the board directors, not board directors, I mean the past national representatives, we always do workshops for the new members, which is great. It was so nice to meet everyone in Manchester because it was a great experience. And as Ishlal said, that as if we knew each other for a long time, which was really a nice feeling. Looking forward to be in Manchester in May. What else? Yeah, about the centennial year, we in Jordan, we have the national flower of Jordan is the black iris. So we are doing something around that. We discussed it yesterday, especially for the centennial year. But we'll let you know what we are doing exactly because we have so many ideas. Anyway, what else I want to say? Yeah, we are worried about the elderly people and the women and children in our area. So we are making projects, you know, to help them all the time. What
Yes,
else?
Jemima, you mentioned at the last meeting we were at, you know, you're so close to the border, and it's been very difficult for you with communication and with life. So it's good to see you here today. And are you able to have any contact with your clubs in Lebanon?
With my non-district clubs, you mean?
Yes. Have you had any contact?
Yeah. Well, most of the time they don't have Wi-Fi, they don't have electricity, they are cut off, you know, that's what they told me. And they are really worried, you know, they are not in a good state. They don't have a president in Lebanon. Still, for the last 1 year, it was this position was empty. And besides the wars thing, so they told me that most of the time they don't have the internet available. But you know, I'm in good contact, WhatsApping them and emailing them. They respond, but they have so much worries, you know, at the moment.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
well, we're all
It
thinking
was
of,
very nice to hear all of you also, although the volume of my laptop, not laptop, the iPad is very low. I can hardly hear you. I hope this will be recorded so we can look at it later. Thank you very much again, Michelle. It was very nice to see everybody's experience and looking forward to see you in Manchester.
Thank you, Jumana. We are recording it and I will send you a message. And I think, you know, greetings from all of your inner wheel friends in New Zealand, knowing that, you know, it's going through a difficult time in your part of the world. So it's wonderful that you're here and able to share that with us. We're now going to hop across to Croatia, to Snezana, who is waiting patiently for us. Here you are, my friend.
Thank you, Michelle. Thank you very much for organizing that kind of Zoom meetings. I'm Snezana. I'm coming from Croatia. That is district with 13 clubs. My club is celebrating 25th anniversary this year. And I have 4 non-districted clubs. One is Trinidad and Tobago, from which I don't have any responses, but I have also 3 clubs in Slovenia. Slovenia is a part of politically ex-Yugoslavia, Slovenia, Croatia, Bosnia and Herzegovina, and Serbia. So we are pretty much connected with history, with the language and everything. So we have very good relations. And of course, I have very good communication with them in Slovenia. I have meet them few times. One club has a celebration of 25th anniversary also this year. They have organized a great concert, humanitarian, and they are supporting the young musicians, and they collected the funds to buy the new instrument for a very young and talented musician that lost the house, not only the instrument, during this summer in the floods. And they managed to collect enough donations just a few days before. They were so happy to announce that they have reached their goal. And they will also, in a few days, plant on the day of their birth, 25 years ago for a charter, they will plant Margaret Golding roses in one of the most famous and very big rosarium in Arboretum in Slovenia. And of course, I will join them. They will, the members from all three clubs will come there and do this. And also in January, they prepare, of course, for the celebrating 100 years, they prepare a very nice concert, good program. So they are all active in celebrations this year, like we all are. And Anne said they have a project 100 for 100. That is the thing that is also in the mind of my district. They plan to plant 100 roses or something all around the Croatia. Croatia is not big, in 13 clubs. It means 10 plants in each club. So that is for me something that is now planting for the future. And that is what is the most important. And my experience with this friendship, with our all three goals, when you move out of your club, you connect first and third goal. You connect the friendship with internationality. And that is the thing I'm looking forward to experience again during the convention. So I hope to see you there.
Thank you, Snezhana. We will certainly see you there. And what I love to hear from all my friends in Europe and around the world is that the international connections that these countries are able to have. And those of us here in Inner Wheel, New Zealand, we are an island, so we don't have close borders. And so for us, it's not that easy to visit other clubs. So I'm hoping in my travels after convention to come and spend some time in Croatia. I may even be there for your birthday party for your club. And I am already
waiting for you.
I know you are. And we started talking about some of us going to Bulgaria for the Rose Festival, and Eleanor couldn't make it today, but it's building those connections, and it's wonderful. We have one more person sitting here, and she's over in Italy. Here we go, Cynthia. It's your turn. Hi, Cynthia.
Hello, hi. Can you hear me? It's okay.
We can hear you. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So it's really a big pleasure to be with you this evening for you and this morning for me. And it's a pleasant way to start the day. And as I'm the last one, I can share that we share all the things. I mean, we live in different countries in different ways, but we feel in the same way. And that is fantastic. That means that when we meet each other, we agree, we share. The right word is share. And as I thanks Michelle for this kindly invitation, and it's lovely to be her surprise in this meeting. And as a lot of things are said, I have a different things from the others, because it takes me years back to 2006, and you know what happened in that year. It was your convention in Christchurch, and it was my first convention, and I was the first district representative in the in all the history of the convention for my district. So I was the district delegate, and it's a different feeling. I mean, we can participate in several conventions, but always there's a different feeling. So next one will be a terrific one, because it's the convention in the centenary. So maybe it's not able for us to attend another one. And so sharing about my NDC clubs, I have 2 clubs from Mauritius that are the same as last year, because it's my second year as board director. And I have 2 new ones from Albania, the 2 clubs from Albania. And as the other non-districted clubs, they work a lot, and they are doing great projects. They are making several contacts, and they work a lot with the Rotary, because as they are living in a little island, so they made a great network with the Rotary. So they are working a lot together. And in Italy, we are going to celebrate with a weekend celebration. But what I would like to share with you is what my club, that I'm part of a club of Ancona, that's in the central area of Italy. We are going to celebrate with the support of the municipality. So we are going with our flag of Inner Wheel and with the measure to let know to the city, to the people of the city, what is Inner Wheel is and who we are. And so to be back to our feeling to be an international board director, I feel that we are the little drop in the ocean. And that's all from Italy.
Thank you, thank you. So those were 11 of the 16 board directors, and 11 of my friends from all around the world. Now, I hope that I see we've only lost one person, so that's great. And I hope that you've managed, my friends in New Zealand, to get an insight into what's happening around the world. Isn't it amazing to hear these projects that's happening all around the world? Isn't it amazing to hear how we all have the same ideas, this concept of friendship, service, and international understanding, and how strong that is around the world? And one of the board directors said it, and I think it was Iqlal, when we walked in that room on the 3rd of October, the first time that we met each other face to face, it wasn't walking into a room of people that just knew each other. It was walking into a room where there was true friendship. We all had so much in common, and we were all bonded by this organization. There were no strangers. There was nothing, there were no boundaries. We didn't have to do all of the free friendship stuff. So it was an amazing opportunity. I'm going to hand back now to Joanne. I've taken the floor so much, and I just want to say thank you to all my friends who have come from all around the world. And I hope that people here in New Zealand have really enjoyed hearing their stories today. I can share you mine at any time, but there's nothing like hearing about someone else. Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle, and your 11 friends from across the globe. It's taken me back to my time as a board director, but as you say, the world has moved on, and the use of digital facilities has changed the connections that you can all make with each other so much more. like you, I envy them the ability to meet across borders and to be in bigger contacts than we can even imagine from down here in New Zealand. Judy, I just wondered if you would like to have a little moment here and just maybe let our friends across the globe know a little of what we're up to here in New Zealand for the centennial. Would you like to do that for me? Just unmute yourself though, Judy.
I have just done so, yes.
Perfect.
Well, we're welcome, ladies. It's been absolutely amazing to hear you and listen to what is happening all across the world. And as most of us said, we're kind of all on the same page, which is incredible. For Inner Wheel New Zealand, we have a few projects for the centennial going. And like many of you, we have commissioned a rose. And the rose will be called In Friendship. Very much part of Inner Wheel. And we are currently busy selling these. They won't actually be with us until June, so a little bit after the centennial, basically because they'll be bare root roses and you can't send them in the summer, so they have to be sent in the winter, not forgetting that we are topsy-turvy, so June for us is cold. So we're really excited about that. It's a really beautiful deep red rose and as I say, called In Friendship. We are also just, or maybe I shouldn't mention that, but we're just thinking about other ideas and projects. And it's all just really exciting. I'm so looking forward to coming to Manchester and catching up with my family. As you will tell by the accent, I don't actually come from New Zealand. My son is in Lincolnshire, and so not far from York, and York was a very special place to all of us. So yeah, it'd be lovely to catch up with family and come across and see you all. So I'm hoping that many of you all, ladies in New Zealand, are getting your registrations in, because the early bird closes in 7 days. It always seems so far away. Oh yes, the early bird, that's December, that's okay. Well, ladies, it's on your doorstep, so we need to be getting booked. And I'm all ready. Flights are booked, hotels booked, cars booked. So I'm ready to go and really looking forward to it. Again, my very sincere thanks to you all for coming, Michelle especially for organising it, which was wonderful. And it's been a really great insight into what's happening all across the world. Thank you.
I think Jumana's got a question for you, Judy. Jumana.
Yes.
Do you have a question?
I can hardly hear you. Can you repeat that again, Michelle?
Oh, Jumana, Joanne was asking, did you have a question? No, I
can't hear.
Yeah, no, I don't think Jumana had a question. Ladies, while I've got you all here, the one thing I wasn't doing during the event was taking any photos. So can we all put our big smiles on and look at the screen? And I know, I think I might be able to fit you all in, and I need to take a screenshot of everybody. So big cheesy smiles, please. 1, 2, 3. Oh, wrong one. Ooh. Oh no, now it's not printing screen. Hold on, I'll try that again. 1, 2, 3. Right, let's see if that worked. I meant to take one of all of you when you were spotlighted, but I didn't.
Okay. All right. So does anyone have any questions for us tonight? No, doesn't look like it. So it's been lovely having you. Thank you all for being tolerant and staying online that little bit longer. But if you've got somewhere else to be, thank you. Let's hope we can all meet in Manchester. In the world, New Zealand ladies, probably we'll get together before then. Hopefully some of you will be coming to Napier in January for our centennial lunch. Now the details for that should be coming to your clubs shortly. Or you can contact, I suppose you can contact me via the Napier Club. We'll put some things out on Facebook as well this week. So thank you all once again, and especially those who got up really early to be with us. And big thanks to Michelle. Good night, everybody, and happy Inner Wheel Days coming up.
Thanks a lot.
I'll
Thanks
stop
all of
the
you, and especially
recording.
to Michelle.
much.
Thanks.
See you soon.
Stop
was
the
great to
recording.
have
You can
you.
all
Bye,
come
everybody.
mute. You'll just
Thank you.
stay